At around the 6-month mark of my pregnancy, he started talking here and there about posts on different platforms saying how paternity tests should be required. We'd look at each other weird and sort of laugh it off. But he started talking about it more frequently. He never explicitly said whether or not he agreed with it, he'd just bring it up and say things like, "Isn't that weird?" or "People are so strange." I didn't know it at the time, but now I know those were subtle hints. I gave birth to our beautiful baby girl nearly 3 months later, which went well. When she was only about 7 weeks old, my husband looked me in the face and told me he wanted a paternity test. At first I kind of giggled because I thought he was bringing up the BS he'd seen on the internet and mocking it. Nope. He was 100% dead serious. I asked him why he would need a paternity test and he said, "For peace of mind, nothing serious." I reminded him that we were both virgins before we got married and I'd never slept with anyone during our marriage, at all. He was the only person I'd ever slept with. I felt really insulted because I was absolutely devoted to this man and I felt like this was him telling me that he didn't trust me. If he didn't trust me, why did he want to marry me? Why didn't he talk to me about this? I'm an open book and would have listened to him without ridicule. But no, peace of mind was his final reasoning. At one point I got fed up with him bringing it up and agreed to it just to put this to an end. He was at work when I looked at the results and they were obviously a perfect match. It was so ridiculous that I audibly laughed. When he got home I showed him the results, to which he was relieved. I don't know what made me think to do this, but I just asked to see his phone. "Now let me see your phone." "Why?" "For peace of mind." He refused. I kept bugging him, asking him if I could see his phone. About a week went by of this and eventually, I got my opportunity. One day, he left to go pick up some takeout and left his phone to charge. That's when I found out. 4 other women, extremely sexual conversations that included pictures. Devastated is an understatement. I don't remember much after that, it's a blur for the most part. I just remember smacking the takeout from his hands and watching it fly against the wall. For a while I was piecing together the fact that he wanted a paternity test so bad but yet was cheating on me with 4 other women. Mine and our child's life was in shambles now. I let my parents watch our daughter while I went back to work to save for an apartment. It took a while, but once I was able to get a stable income again, at the same place I was working at before getting pregnant, I moved out and took our daughter with me. I was able to initiate the divorce soon after that and I then used the paternity test results as proof he was the father for child support. He gets to see her every other weekend now and they have a great time. I will never keep her from her father but I could never love him again. He went from husband to stranger very quickly and it's like the time we had just disappeared. Maybe that was my mind's way of protecting me. I'm doing great now, I've moved up a position at my job and am making a better income now and do not plan on remarrying and having another child anytime soon. I am going to focus on my daughter and give her as normal of a life I can possibly give her. Thank you all for taking the time to read this, I really needed this. Story 2. I know what I'm doing is right but the people I respect and whose opinion matter to me are saying differently and it's messing with me. Forgive the length of this but I will try and put all the information I can in here. Me and Anna have been together for 5 years and engaged for 1. We were set to be married in October of this year. This woman is the love of my life. 2 weeks back we had a couple of friends over at our house. One of the friend Becky was a high school friend of Anna. As the night went on we obviously got a bit drunk and the conversation went into all the weird stuff. The conversation landed on what is the deepest thing you regret. We all spoke and Anna said her deepest regret is losing her virginity to her ex in high school and not to me. I did know this information so that didn't bother me. Becky, who was a bit more tipsy, suddenly spoke up and called Anna a liar. A bit taken aback I asked Becky why she would say something like that. I didn't even finish my sentences before Anna stood up and asked Becky to speak in private but Becky refused. Becky then said Anna's biggest regret is the false SA allegations she made against her ex. Apparently in high school her ex dumped her out of the blue one day without a reason, she got angry and made a false SA allegations against him. He was arrested, kicked out of school and his family had to move states because his life was being threatened. He was also put on self-deleting watch as he did try to end it. After Anna found out he tried to delete himself, she confessed the allegations was fake. I actually got angry because Becky was attacking my fiance's character. I didn't believe a word until I looked at Anna with tears rolling down her face. I asked her if it was true and Anna ran into the house and locked herself in our room. After that the party was over and everyone left as the situation was awkward at best. It took me 4 hours to get Anna to leave our room and talk to me. She basically confirmed that everything Becky said was true, with minor differences. I didn't know what to do in that moment, so I let her cry on my shoulder. She just kept asking me to forgive her. After I got her to bed and started to think about what she actually did, I got disgusted, and the more I thought about it, the more disgusted I got. I couldn't sleep at all that night and just got angrier and angrier the more I thought about it. That information shattered my whole image that I had of her. How can someone do something like that, to anyone? I'm Jong, to be honest, after I heard her confirm what Becky had said to be true. It was like the love I had for her was being replaced with anger the more I thought about what she did. That morning I just avoided her, every time she tried to talk to me. I couldn't look at her, I didn't want to hear her voice, nothing. It was like this the whole day. After thinking about everything again Saturday night, I came to the decision to break up with her, because what she did is not just despicable, but what else has she lied about and is Jong to lie about, and I refuse to live with that uncertainty in my life. Sunday morning I sat her down and asked her again to tell me the story, and she stated the same story she told me Friday night. I told her I can't be in a relationship with her anymore. She broke down completely. All I could make out over her cries is the word sorry over and over again, the rest was just mumbling. I wasn't in the best emotional state in that moment myself. This is the woman I wanted to marry, this is the love of my life. So I called her parents and mine as well. I told them we broke up but didn't give a reason. I asked her parents to come and pick her up and asked mine to come because I was losing it myself. Her parents got to my house first. Her mom went directly to her to comfort her, and her dad asked me what happened. As soon as I said the words she made false accusations, he stopped me and said he understood. He asked me if it was alright to grab a couple of her things. He went into our room and got some of her things. While he was packing her things, Anna just kept asking me to forgive her. On their way out, her father said he will be in touch to come get her other things at a later time. I know I make it sound quick and easy, but all of this took about 30 minutes. An hour later my parents arrived at our house. As soon as I saw my father I completely broke down. I couldn't even stand in my own feet, he had to keep a hold of me. I literally cried myself to sleep while my father was holding me. This was the first time I was able to sleep since Friday night. I woke up to my mom cooking dinner for us. The first question was from my father that asked if I was okay, and I couldn't answer him. My mother then asked what happened, and I just started to cry again. It took me 10 minutes to get myself together enough to talk to them. I told them everything. They sat in silence with a look of complete shock on their faces. My mother asked if it was really true, and I told her Anna herself confirmed it. After that we just sat in silence the whole night. Just my dad constantly checking in on me. Monday I woke up to my dad missing and just my mom in the house. I asked her where my dad went and she told me he left to their house but will be back soon. Luckily my mom answered my phone that morning when my manager called because I was a no-show at work. I got 2 weeks of at least. My dad came back later that day, with his and my mom's clothes and a couple of other things. Because they will be staying with me for a while. When I wanted to object, my father told me he doesn't want to hear it. About 1600 hours the same day Anna's mother came to my house and wanted to speak to me. My mother didn't want her to even come into the house, but I agreed to talk to her. Apparently Anna is in a bad way, she refuses to eat and is constantly crying. Her mother asked me if I could forgive her and possibly get back together with her. They will even pay for couples counseling if that is what I needed. My mother kicked her out of my house after that. I didn't even get a chance to respond. My phone from that Sunday has been blowing up from her, our friend, her mother, even some family member on both sides wanting me to reconsider our breakup as she did nothing to me and this was in her past. Although true I can't forgive something like that, she caused her ex to lose his life and nearly caused his death. If she can lie about something like that, what else can't she lie about? What else hasn't she lied about? Almost everyone I know has been harassing me and calling me heartless for not seeing her pain, calling me in a hole, and that I'm a piece of shit for holding something she did in her past over her head. That I never truly loved her is I can end thing just like this, and it's starting to get to me. My parents are still at my house, so I asked my dad what he will do. He responded with one question. Do you think you can forgive her? When I said no. His response was, then that is the end of it, everyone else can go screw themselves. Edit, just to clarify something that I see coming up in the comments. She was 18 at the time she made the false accusations. I don't know if they apologized to the guy. After they moved, they completely disappeared. I know his name and the names of his parents but can't find them on any social media. 6 months passed from the time she accused her ex to her confession story 3. My head has been spinning since last night and I don't really know what my next moves are. Some background info: my girlfriend and I have been together for 2 years. No kids, but we moved into a new place in October and signed a 1-year lease. I'm 30 and she's 28. About a year ago she started working at this new job that she absolutely loves. It pays good and she's made some new friends there. In December, during their office Christmas party, I got to meet her boss for the first time. And it was very obvious to me and probably anyone with eyes he's attracted to her. It made me uncomfortable, but she didn't give him any more attention than she did anyone else, so I didn't think anything more about it. Last month she got a raise. A significant one that even she was surprised about. She said she spoke to her boss and he said it's for her performance. She accepted that answer, I didn't. I told her he's obviously attracted to her and that's why she got this raise. She got angry and accused me of saying she doesn't work hard. We had a huge fight about it and I ended up spending the night on the couch. We didn't speak for 2 days and I ended up apologizing but asked her to just watch out for this guy. On Friday we had gone to a friend's house for dinner and drinks and my girlfriend kept checking her phone and was whispering with one of her girlfriends. I got a sinking feeling but tried to ignore it because I didn't want to cause a scene in front of our friends. On the way home I asked her who kept texting her all night and she said, a friend from work, and when I asked who she said, why does that matter? And got really defensive, so again I dropped it. Saturday morning while she was still sleeping I decided to go through her phone and I found hundreds of text messages between her and her box. Very inappropriate text messages and pictures. Honestly, I wanted to throw up. I took a couple of screenshots and looked at the conversations with a friend from the party who knows this has been going on and was just gutted. She's told her friend he's the best she's ever been with. They talked about how the initial raise was to get her interest and he's been giving her bonuses. And apparently most if not everyone at the office knows about them sleeping together, according to my girlfriend's texts to her friend. I took screenshots of everything and deleted the proof. I sent them to myself. I haven't confronted her about any of thing yet. I can't even look at her right now. I know she knows something is wrong but she isn't talking to me either. I know the only logical answer is to break up with her, but I have a lease that I can't afford on my own. I don't know what to do. I'm so incredibly disgusted and heartbroken. I'm angry at her and myself. I feel like I saw all the red flags that this was happening and ignored every one of them. Thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to connect with each other in the comments below. Until next time, be kind, be curious, and I'll catch you in the next video. Corner Stories signing off.